We are here on the 21st of January 2025, 2025, who can believe it? The first Culture Meet of this new year, and we are excited to hear from amazing arts partners in Nottingham today and to bring you all kinds of news, upcoming workshops, opportunities for you to take your pupils to gorgeous arts venues, to see new exhibitions and take part in a whole host of activities. Um, and what we'd like to do is kick off really with some new introductions. So for people that haven't been to the Culture Meets before, we'd love you to introduce yourselves. I'm going to go around and just ask those of you who haven't been before to just say hello. So just quickly, really pleased to welcome Rebecca from DanceEquation. Hi, Rebecca.
Hiya, can you
This
hear
is
me?
your first time, isn't it? I
It
think
is,
to one of
yes.
these. So it's really good that you could come. And Adam Pepper, thank you for coming along today.
No, it's an absolute pleasure. Thank you for the invite. Appreciate it.
And one other person, Jack Benjamin, who I think this is your first primary Culture Meet, Jack. Jack is a PhD candidate working with Challenge on celebrating living cultures and language heritages. So he's actually going to be in touch with a few schools and arts organisations regarding his PhD research. So we're going to kick off because I know that's why you're all here to have a quick introduction, to put the face to the organisation and hear about all the brilliant things going on. So if I first of all come over and ask Katrina from Ignite, if that's all right, to give a few words about the things that are coming up for you in the Festival of Science and Curiosity and Primary Parliament. Over to you, Katrina.
Are we timing these or not?
Oh, we've got about 5 minutes each, if that's okay.
That's minutes. I've got a 4-minute video, but I'm just going to put it in the chat afterwards. So I don't want to take up the whole thing.
That's okay.
Hi everyone, nice to see you all. My name's Katrina. I'm the Programmes Officer at Ignite. So Ignite's an education charity based here in Nottingham, and we work with children and young people of all ages, from kind of early years all the way up to 25s really. We've got some adult groups as well. So Ignite's all about nurturing curiosity and creativity in children and young people. And one of our big kind of projects that's coming up is the Nottinghamshire Festival of Science and Curiosity, which will run from the 10th to the 21st of February. So it's really close and very stressful, but we've got a wonderful programme this year. So there's a few things for primary schools in particular. So the festival itself runs over 2 weeks, and between the 10th and the 14th we have our schools programme. So we've got lots of different things happening. We have like scientists and researchers, STEM enterprises, kind of work with schools all across the city and county, bring in kind of different hands-on activities or talks into schools, but also there's opportunities for kind of tours and visits off-site as well. So I've just been at ACOM this morning, which is a engineering company based out in Chilwell, and they were hosting Henry Whipple Primary. So the registration to get involved and like taking part in the festival through activities and events will be opening up within the next kind of 6 weeks or so after the festival's over. So I'll share more details then. But for this year, if you'd like to get involved, we have our Real Science in Schools Symposium, which is a core part of the programme. It takes place during the schools week, and where we invite schools to come to the council house and kind of present science projects that they might have been working on in school. A lot of the times, like the STEM clubs might come, or children might be doing additional projects as part of enrichment, or it could be something as part of the curriculum as well. So it's really, really exciting. We've got a few spaces still available if you would like to bring a group of like up to 10 children. Kind of works as a science fair. It's really informal, and the children kind of lead on demonstrating the science that they've learned in school, and also learning from their peers as well. So it's really, really lovely. I'll send loads of links into the chat afterwards, and one will be the link for the symposium. There are a few spaces still available, so please register and get in touch if you'd like to join that. We've also got our festival magazine available, which I'll send a link for as well, which has the full listings of of what's happening across the city and county. And there's different activities and articles in there, kind of key stage 2 level, which is really great. You can put it in the book bag for children to take home, or there's things that they can do in class as well. And we've also developed education resource for like kind of self-guided science activities that teachers can lead in schools. So we've tried to keep them as low cost or free as possible. And they're just like fun experiments that you can lead on in class as well. If there's something you'd like to do as part of FOSAC but haven't been able to register, or you can't come to the symposium, there's ways that you can kind of lead on things in school. It's our first time doing that as well, so if you do kind of use the resource and have any feedback, I would love to hear it, so we can make it better for next year. That's the festival. I'm trying to get it all in the 5 minutes. And another kind of thing that's coming up is our primary parliament project, which is a termly kind of programme, which again takes place in Nottingham City Council House, where we invite schools, all schools from the city, to kind of bring their young people, their children, to the council house to engage in kind of activities and workshop all around youth voice and kind of sharing their opinions and experiences on different themes. So the spring term will be safe, positive neighbourhoods. We've got some things lined up for the children to come along, learn from experts and people, and then they present back at the end of the day. So it's all about kind of developing confidence and knowledge, and then sharing that knowledge with the others in the room and bringing it back to school and sharing it in school as well. I'm going to put a video in the chat, which I really would love if you would all watch. We created it at the last primary parliament in autumn, where the theme was Your Voice Matters, and we kind of worked around developing children's communication skills, and kind of really like showing them okay, one sec, showing them that it's their voice matters and that they should share it. Please watch it. It's 4 minutes. I cried the first time I saw it and I was part of it, so yeah. That's me.
That's brilliant. Thanks so much. That's great, Katrina.
No.
Feel free to put some links in the chat as well if you'd like to. Brilliant, thank you. Can I come over to Adam next, please, and then Sarah?
Yeah.
Hi, Adam.
Hey, everybody. I'm Adam Pepper from SilverScreen Primary Education. I've been working, kind of running my business, if you like. It's just me for the last 14 years. I trained as a primary school teacher at Derby Uni in 2004, and then worked as a primary school teacher for about 8 years before I set up on my own a SilverScreen. Before I was a teacher, I was an actor and director working down in London, did lots of theatre. And so when I did become a teacher, I naturally used lots of film and drama and theatre to teach the children in my class. Saw the impact it had on their self-esteem, on their confidence, their engagement, their progress, their levels of attainment. And so when I set up in 2011, the aim was to teach the national curriculum to primary schools all over the county and further afield using film and drama. Then the iPads came out kind of a few years later, and suddenly I can incorporate filmmaking into the workshops as well. So 14 years on, I'm kind of partnered up with Broadway Cinema in Nottingham, along with Quad in Derby and Phoenix in Leicester and Picture House in Liverpool. And I work at schools in all of those cities, delivering curriculum workshops, whatever the topic, whatever the year group, however many children. And I'll go in and we'll have a morning of teaching where the children dive, quite an intense dive into that part of the topic. It might be, the Romans or Tutankhamun or sharks or Africa, or it could be anything at all that the children are doing. We'll spend the morning kind of doing like a teachery morning. where we'll watch video clips and film clips to stimulate the learning and the vocabulary and the discussion and the talk and the writing. And then after lunchtime, based on what the children have learned, we'll get the green screens out and the cameras out, and we'll create a movie that shows the kind of things that they found out. Because of my partnerships with the cinemas, quite a lot of the schools that I work with have either an end of term trip to Broadway or to Quad to kind of show their movies that they've made to parents and the rest of the wider school community, or they have it as a special celebration trip for the children, or they incorporate the trip to the cinema as part of the learning, almost like a follow-up day. So for example, tomorrow I've got some children coming into the Broadway at Nottingham from Scott Home Primary in Hyson Green. They're learning about the Iron Giant at the moment, and so they're coming to the cinema to have an Iron Giant day, kind of focused on writing and vocabulary. But because I worked with them back in autumn 1 on their Narnia topic, they're also going to have the premiere of their Narnia movie that they made with us as well. So they're going to start with a premiere and then have a cinema workshop where the cinema screen is their school whiteboard. I tend to kind of focus, I think just because of what schools have asked of me over the last 14 years, it tends to be a more history and geography focus. I'm a history expert, if you like, with the work that I do. But similarly, because of my background in acting and directing, I do get called in to do an awful lot of Shakespeare. I worked as a Shakespeare actor for a number of years in London, and I love getting Shakespeare into schools. So it's nice to go in and do that. I do quite a few Shakespeare theme weeks around Shakespeare Week, which is obviously an annual thing every March. So schools contact me and say, we've got some year 3s that are doing the Stone Age, or some year 6s doing the Amazon, or we've got some year 2s doing the Great Fire of London. Can you come in and do a day? And then from that point, it's just a question of, well, how many children are in the year group? Have we got a space big enough? What are you looking for as an outcome? Do you want it to be a more educational outcome, or are you going for a more creative outcome, or do you want a little bit of both? And then based on kind of what the schools want out of the day or out of the project, I can then design the project to fit with where the children are at the moment with their learning, and what they want to create as an outcome. I am obviously it's tricky for me to have a website because there's very little I can put up on it because of GDPR. Obviously, all the films that I make with children I can't put up online, on a normal website. I am on the dreaded Twitter. Only because that's where I started my social media 14 years ago. Kind of wish I wasn't on there now, but it's kind of stuck, and there's enough schools on there to warrant staying on.
Yeah.
So you can find me on Twitter to see where I am each day and what schools I'm working with each day. I do a lot of after school stuff with the grown-ups at Broadway as well, talking about film and about the history of film. I'll see you, Heidi. So it would just be nice to make some new contacts and see if we can't get some projects off the ground and get some children up on the big screen.
Amazing. That sounds brilliant. Thank you so much. It's really good to hear your background and history as well.
Thank you.
Thank you. Please do add links and things into the chat for people and your email address.
Yeah, I mean, what I was going to say, sorry to butt in. What I normally do, if anybody would like to see kind of examples of the films I've made, I'm quite happy to send Heidi some links to some of the films that I've shot.
Yeah.
Because I do put some up kind of privately for schools to watch, which I'd be happy for you to jump on.
That'd be great.
And see what the children have done.
And it's probably worth saying you're pretty booked up, so it's about planning ahead and things like that. Just, a bit like a builder. When you want a good builder, you can't get them because they're busy. So, that's a good indication. But... Yeah,
I have got some availability at the end of kind of just before February half term. I've got some availability in May around SATS time, inevitably, and then kind of towards mid-June into July, and then obviously looking into next year. But yeah, I do tend to get quite booked up.
Thank you, Anne.
Thank you ever so much, you guys.
Right. So, can we come over to Sarah West from the Playhouse, please? Hi, Sarah.
These all
Hi, everybody. Well, I think the main thing I wanted to talk about today is what used to be called Schools Massive, which is now called, excuse me, our Schools Shakespeare Festival. We've opened applications for this. It's our annual Shakespeare showcase, basically, but we've changed it up a little bit this year. So it's for Key Stage 2 and/or 3 students, and each class of students from each of the different schools come together to make an abridged version of one play this time. So there'll be a movement director and a director working with each school group, and then each section of the play will come together to make one whole show. And we've got an NTU student designing it this time as well. So it should be quite exciting. We have a live pianist as part of it, and it's on the main stage. So it's up to 770 people in the audience. So I've put the details in the chat if you're a primary or secondary school. I know they're primary on here, but we do have mostly primary, and some secondary schools usually apply, and we have had a couple of special needs schools also apply and be in it. So that's really exciting. I think it'll be really nice for everyone to feel part. I mean, they always feel part of the same show, but this time really part of the same storyline as well. So that should be a really nice experience. We've also got our general schools workshops, which I've put in the chat, which can be bespoke to anything you're doing the curriculum, or any skills-based workshops you might want to do with young people. We can do that in school. We can do it in the playhouse. If it's in the playhouse, we often combine it with a backstage tour because we're a producing house and we make theatre from scratch. That can be really inspiring and exciting to students to see that whole world that they might not be used to. Lastly, something that I did talk about last year, but we've been given a bit more funding to do some more free 90 minutes teacher CPD sessions for speech bubbles. So that's an intervention. Speech bubbles is an intervention for speech and language development for Key Stage 1 children. And the CPD is to introduce teachers to that way of working. So even though it is an introduction to speech bubbles, it's absolutely a standalone CPD session that you can use with whole classes. It doesn't have to be small groups. And it's just really using about how to use storytelling to build communication and listening skills. So yeah, we have some of that free CPD to give out. So I've put that in the chat as well. And that's me.
Thanks so much. Does anyone have any questions for anyone that you've heard from so far? Oh, let me just check. If you have got any questions, just put your hand up or you can shout out. That's fine. If not, then I'd like to come over to Rebecca, if possible, and then Rick. Rebecca.
Hello, can you hear me all right?
Yes.
Brilliant.
Hello.
Am I all right to share the screen? Because I've got a few slides, if that's all right.
Yeah.
Mix it up a little bit. So I can just do it here, can't I? Screen. I'm so used to Zoom. It threw me because it's Teams. Can someone stop share? Can you see my screen? I don't think you can.
Yes, we can. We can see ourselves on your screen.
Ah, right. Thank you. And I've opened some slides. Can you see something with blue background?
Yeah. Yeah,
brilliant. So I can't see myself now, so that's really weird, and I can't see everybody else. It's different to Zoom, but never mind, I'll carry on. So hello everyone, my name's Rebecca Hart, and I'm the director of a company called DanceEquation. So DanceEquation, we're a dancing education company, actually founded in 2001, which is quite a while ago. Our mission is to help children to stay happy and healthy and learn through movement, and we provide workshops, classes and live shows, including staff CPD for schools in Nottingham, Leicester, Derby, and actually we do deliver further afield to a school that would like us at different parts of the UK. Our main focus, so we've developed a creative practice in body-based learning with a specific focus on teaching mathematics through movement. For example, some of our programmes include Dancing Digits, which is a live school show that's been touring around school halls for a number of years now. That brings maths alive through movement, dance, music, all sorts of things. Very recently, we've been working with the Education Endowment Foundation to research our body-based maths learning. And actually, Heidi has asked me to share a little bit of that research with you. Just before I do, here's just a few visuals to give you the idea of what on earth maths and movement is. Can you see the 7, 8, 9 costumes here?
Yeah.
In front of you, yeah. So we have costumes and a little show that tours around schools. The dancers dance about numbers, shape, space, all sorts of things. Children are engaged during the show. Then we offer workshops as part of that as well. And here's a few more images of us working in schools, nurseries, all sorts of different settings. So I mentioned earlier our Happy Maths programme that we researched last year with the Education Endowment Foundation, and we were lucky enough to work with quite a lot of schools in Nottingham and Derby City. In fact, we worked with 12 schools in total, and all of them completed the programme and helped us to collect a lot of that evidence and data to then forward to the Education Endowment Foundation. So it was quite a successful programme. A quick introduction, I can do a webinar or talk to people in more detail if you're interested, so I'm going to skip read this a lot, but Happy Maths, it's a learning programme, a staff development programme that brings maths to life through movement. It's for teachers, teaching assistants and early years professionals. All the activities are child-centred. We want children to enjoy maths through their body. We want to help the onset of maths anxiety. And actually, a lot of research shows that if you give a young child positive experiences of maths when they're very young, then it will help them as they go through school to have that positive mindset. If you're positive, the neuron pathways are more open to learning. So that's some of the research we did. What will children do in the Happy Maths sessions? So they will practice and recall maths facts whilst performing whole body movements. They will stamp, clap, jump and vocalise the maths concepts. They'll perform repeating patterns with their body, with maracas, with different coloured instruments. And we always use music in Happy Maths sessions, and that multisensory learning experience helps engage all learners. And actually the research showed that children with ADHD, with autism, really did engage in these maths classroom sessions, so that was good. Just a quick reminder, so the main aim of Happy Maths is positive associations with maths. We want children to recall number facts. If they recall in lots of different ways through the multisenses, they're more likely to remember what they're doing, to be able to dig it out for future learning, to build upon their maths. So those early years we found are really, really vital. Those early, just counting to 10, counting to 20, counting in twos. If they can recall that, then it will help them. And spatial intelligence is a natural connection with dance, movement, choreography, and that spatial intelligence is all part of that early maths development. So we make that obvious and clear connection through the sessions as well. Some of the aims, I won't go on too much because I think Heidi's probably clock watching, but some of the training and prompt resources in the Happy Maths staff programme include the practical training. You have one of our team live in your school training staff, as many staff as you want. We give you videos or access to all the online resources that have been developed with the Education Endowment Foundation. Some of them are you can access as part of our Crown copyright with them as well at all times. You get cue cards. This is like a recipe booklet of all the activities that you can choose from as teachers to deliver. There's visual downloads. We can provide you with the maracas and the ribbons if you don't have them in school already, and we give you all the music to download and use with that. We also give you access to our maths show videos that you can then use to play on the whiteboard in the classroom, just to ignite a bit of fun and inspiration as part of it for your children. And here's a picture of Rachel doing a greater than less than sign in our show. That's all right. I can't see you waving. Were you waving at me?
Yeah, I did, but I realised you couldn't see
brilliant.
us.
So if I go to the last one, there's so much research there. But if I go to the last one, if you do want to contact me and find out how your school can be involved in the Happy Maths programme, I'll put my email address, which is here, onto the chat. And I think, Heidi, you can send the programme information on to the schools, can't you? Was that 10 minutes? Oh, God, that was quick. Thank you so much, everyone.
Thanks, Rebecca.
That's all right. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Rebecca, if you've got any information about any pilot project, I know you said about your foundation stage project, just pop that in the chat and we'll make sure that goes out as well.
Okay, that was the next slide, how schools can be involved, but that's fine.
Yeah.
10 minutes must go really quick. All right, thank you.
Okay, if you could stop sharing, that would be great.
Oh, yes, hang on.
There should just be an X somewhere. That's great, thank you. Rick, I was going to come to you next, but actually Alice needs to run off to collect children soon. So could I ask Alice to just jump in and tell us a bit about Young Creative Awards?
Yes, thank you so much. Sorry, Rick. I've got to go and do school pickup. But yes, hi everyone. I'm here representing Young Creative Awards. So that's organised by registered charity Young Creatives Nottingham. We're in, I think, our 17th year, but it's an annual celebration event of youth creativity spanning Nottingham urban area. So we have 10 award categories covering, dance, music, film, visual arts, creative writing, you name it. I've put the website into the chat. But there are 3 age groups, so 11 to 15, 16 to 18 and 19 to 24. So obviously this spans the kind of year 6 cohort, but if you did have any real kind of creative talent that you're already starting to see in your year 6 sort of 11-year-olds, it would be wonderful if you could encourage them to enter the Young Creative Awards. And what we have found and we get feedback on is just being encouraged to enter can be a massive thing for young people. If we have a panel of independent judges for each category, if the entrance work is shortlisted, they then get invited to the Nottingham Playhouse on the 4th of June. And that's where we will do the reveal and reveal who the winners are for each category. It's a fantastic event and a wonderful opportunity and experience for young people to be part of a creative community and have their work seen, etc. We also do an exhibition of all of the shortlisted work, so they get to see their work and have other people view it. The other thing I wanted to mention is the entries are currently open, but they close on midnight, the 24th of March. So yeah, it would be wonderful to see more entries from 11-year-olds if you could share that. Thank you.
Brilliant. Thank you. Thanks, Alice. See you soon. Okay. So Rick, can you tell us all about Nottingham Games and if schools can still get involved? And
you've just done it, and that's brilliant. So yeah,
wonderful. They can.
They can. Nottingham Games. It's a project supported by the Heritage Lottery Fund, so it doesn't cost anything. In fact, we've got some funds available for schools to help schools take part. It's a project to collect the games that children are playing and also to develop their skills and support and confidence. So we're trying to develop the idea of children as researchers. 40 years ago, head teacher at Bluebell Hill produced this. And we're now, and I put the link to the film that we made last year, which is an update on the collection of games. We're aiming to get as many examples of games that children play, and if possible, produce a picture book called Nottingham Games, and also a couple of videos. I'm chuffed to bits to say that Louise from Crabtree Farm was in a Zoom meeting with me yesterday to illustrate that it's quite an easy thing, quite a quick thing to do. She showed the Bluebell Hill games at an assembly and invited a group of children to come and help research the games that children play. She had a group of year 5 and 6 who happened to be all girls, but within a couple of days they were out there with their clipboards, researching the games, talking to midday supervisors as well. And so, yeah, if you would like to get involved in this project, I've put my information in the chat, but I'll just put my contact details in again.
Thank you, Rick. That's wonderful. It's exciting. I'm really pleased to support in any way we can. Wonderful, thank you. Are there any questions from anyone? I want there to be time for you to please do add questions or comments in the chat as well and speak to each other there, obviously. But if anyone would like to raise anything, any teachers have anything on their minds, you'll feel free in between presentations to ask a question or put your hand up. Wonderful. Can I come over to Claire from Nottingham Music Hub now, if that's okay? Claire, are you there?
I am here. Sorry, I don't know if
wonderful.
it's me. We've just moved into our new office, so I'm just
Great.
enjoying
We
the
can
new
hear
view.
you,
So
see you.
yeah.
That's great.
So hi, people that don't know me. I am Claire. I'm the Teaching and Learning Manager at the Nottingham Music Service. Like I just said, we've just moved into our new office, so we're hoping to have lots of exciting things happening here very soon. But today I just wanted to talk to teachers, or to everybody really, about a couple of things that we've got coming up. First thing is the Great Orchestra Experiment, which is for children in year 4 who are accessing our whole class teaching already. So schools should have already had this information, but for anybody that doesn't know, we invite children that have been learning their instruments since just September, so not too long, just a term, along to the Albert Hall. We have around 750 children per event, and we do 3 events back to back in one day. So it's a hectic but fun day. The children come along, they'll have learnt some things in advance with their teachers in school, and they come and play with our Robin Hood Youth Orchestra. And we have smoke and fireworks and lights, and it's all very exciting and they love it. So that event is booking now. Booking closes on the 31st of January. So I'll put the information in the chat, but schools, like I said, should have received emails already. We've had lots of bookings. It's filling up fast. So that's the first and biggest event kind of coming up. We also have our Music West online adventure launching on the 28th of January, so a week today. So Music Quest, for those people that don't know about it, it's a completely free online musical challenge. I will post a link to the trailer. You just access it via our website. Each week there are new levels released where children and their teachers watch and listen to a piece of music, and then they take part in some challenges, answer some questions, get some points, and hopefully score a place on our leaderboard. And there's some boss level challenges available at the end as well, where we would come into your school and do challenges, musical challenges with the children. It opens next week, but we are launching it earlier this year so that people have more chance to take part, because we get feedback from lots of schools that January is a good time for us, it's not a good time for them. May is a good time for them, it's not good for them. So now anybody from any key stage, all the way from kind of year 1 up to top end of key stage 3 can take part. There's differentiated levels and questions, and it will be open all the way through till summer term. It does not matter when teachers take part or when classes take part, you will stand an equal chance of winning. So even if you are the 70th school in the city to complete it, you could still be the winners. There's no time frame in terms of first come, first served. It covers loads of the national curriculum for music and the model music curriculum, ticks off lots of boxes for teachers and music leads and subject leads, and all completely free. So please have a look on our website. We would love for people to take part and sign up. It's a small kind of commitment, hopefully, from teachers, because we've tried to plan everything for you, we hope, including supporting resources and assessment tools. If you have any questions, you want to know more about it, because I know that was very fast, please drop me an email. I'll put my email in the chat. And I think that's everything for now.
That's great. Thanks so much. It's great. Fantastic. Is Sarah here? Sorry, not Sarah. Who was I going to come to? is Jude here? Let me just check in the people list. I think Jude was going to be here, but if she's not, then I just wanted to mention something. So Jude from Beat Feet is offering a new CPD. It's a free session, so it relates to music. It's all about West African percussion, and it's a free CPD that's going to be hosted at Old Basefords Primary School. It's the 7th of May, and it's in the afternoon from 1:15 to 3:15. It's free, and it's going to be fantastic, I'm sure. So we'll post the link to that. You will find all of the links to all of the kind of CPD sessions that are going on the Challenge website. So if you make your way to the Challenge website, which is just challengenottingham.co.uk, and look under the teachers section, there is a CPD and events page, and we try and make sure that all of the CPD we hear about from our arts partners goes up on there. So arts partners, if you don't see your events on there, send them across to us, and if you and hopefully you'll be able to open up and find the booking links and things. So please do go on there to find out more about all of the things that are going on this term.
That CPD is for all staff. It's not just for staff with music responsibilities. It is for any member of primary teaching staff or TAs, anybody who wants to have that experience and learn how to do the djembe drumming.
Yeah.
So.
And another CPD that we've come up with Catherine Kirk, who I think is here too, is called Arts and Wellbeing. And we're running that on the 12th of March. That's an after-school twilight session. Again, it's free, and a local primary school will host it for us. Whitemore are hosting this time. So you're really welcome to come to an Arts and Wellbeing CPD. Catherine, do you want to say hello?
Hi, I'm Catherine Kirk. I'm the Achieve Well Team Manager with Nottingham City Council, so supporting schools around health and wellbeing. So collaborating with Kathy and Heidi on this training around how we can use the arts to teach about wellbeing and sort of broader PSHE topics as well. So kind of links with the work we've done previously around RSE Day and linking in arts and creative based activities with that. So it should be a fun session.
Yeah, great. Thanks, Catherine. Okay, so we'll add links in the chat and send them across to you as well. You can also obviously remember, I hope you've all seen the January e-news for primaries that we put together from lots of arts partners across the city that send us all their details and information to share. It's all from the homepage of the website. You can find that. So next we're going to come over to Jo from National Justice Museum for 5 minutes, and then Liz from Mishmash. Hi.
Hello. I will not be 5 minutes. So there's nothing majorly new going on with us, but it was just to sort of say hi to everybody and touch base and say we're the National Justice Museum. Most people know us as the Galleries of Justice. We're the same place. So for those who have never been to us before, and that's absolutely fine, we are all about crime and punishment and justice system and law and that sort of thing. So you can come and do trials. You can come and we'll go around the museum, meet our Georgian jailer and Victorian matron, and find out about crime and punishment through time. And I know as a previous former primary school teacher myself, it's quite often in history you have to look at something through a period of time. So we do that very well over here. We also do education sessions linked with the City of Caves as well, which I don't always bang on about, which I should make more of as well. And so we do sessions around archaeology. One of my learning officer is a trained archaeologist, so she's tweaked all our sessions, and those are all sort of really hitting the curriculum now, including a session where you can be a paleontologist, a sedimentologist, or a archaeologist, and learn all about the ologists as well in a session. But the other one that I run is, and I make no apologies for saying this every time I'm here, is our Choices and Consequences Anti-Knife Crime exhibition. This is delivered from year 5 upwards, and is an early prevention workshop around knife crime, personal safety, those life skills of sort of, you know, making positive choices, not just for yourself, but for other people, the effect it can have, that sort of thing. So, and I should always lead with this. Choice and Consequences is free. I have funding. I can't throw this funding at schools quick enough, and things. So please do come and make use of that. I can offer those spaces for free. That we have also still a little bit of a pot of up to £100 travel contribution as well to come to Choice and Consequences. It's a half-day session. We do it for 2 hours, either 10 till 12 or 12:30 till 2:30, and it's just learning all those life skills. Really, it's really important information and work that we're doing with that. So yeah, I will chuck my contact details in the chat and also add just general learning information, sort of contact details as well if people want to find out more information. People want to come and do like a pre-visit to see what that's all about even before they're thinking about booking, absolutely fine. You can do all that because we know it's a tough topic and sometimes you've got to get over the parents as well as anything else. So yeah, please feel free to contact me about that.
Thank you, Jo. Amazing. Wonderful. Speed talking. I'm going to ask Liz to come in now and then Eki. Hi, Liz.
Hello, I'm sharing my space with my son who's gaming just behind me. So I've just asked him to pipe down for 3 minutes. So we've got 3 minutes before he gets overexcited. Hi, I'm Liz, I'm from Mishmash Productions. We are a Nottingham-based but nationally reaching production company specialising in providing Western classical music for young school and family audiences. We've been around for a bit, so I've been to a few of these meetings and some of you may have heard from me before. I'll put a link to our website in the chat for those of you who don't know about our work, rather than boring those that already do. There's a couple of things I wanted to highlight this time round. We're touring a fabulous production called Toot, which is a woodwind quintet made up of 5 amazingly young and diverse musicians who've developed this amazing 40-minute show for Key Stage 1 and lower Key Stage 2 audiences, exploring the music of a woodwind quintet. It's really playful. It's got a dressing up theme, and basically they dive into a dressing up box, and that takes them to all kinds of places to play all kinds of music. It's really interactive and engaging. I'll put a link to the trailer so you can see what it's all about, and this will be touring in May, June 2025 and October, November 2025. We're really hoping to do a few days in Nottingham. We're talking with the other Claire at Nottingham Music Service about that at the moment. So if you're interested in that, please do drop me a line. So that's the first thing. The second thing is a bit of a plea, really. We're currently recruiting for a full-time producer. The application pack's on our website. If you can circulate in your networks to anyone in the kind of Nottingham area who's looking for a career as a producer in the performing arts and cultural sector, that would be fabulous. That's me done, I think, Kathy.
Thanks, Liz. That's great. Right, now we're going to hear from Eki and then Amanda, if that's all right. So Eki, over to you.
Hello, good afternoon, everyone. I hope you're all okay. My name is Eki Ganser and I'm the child-friendly Nottingham lead. So I'd just like to bring to your attention, we currently have our Children Young People survey, which is live across our website. I have put it in the chat for you all to see. I have tried to attach both the survey, the document, and we've got a support document as well, but they don't seem to like to load up to there. So sort of Kathy and Heidi, if I can send them to you separately, and if you could attach that, that'd be absolutely fantastic. The survey runs until the end of February, and we'd just like to encourage as many children and young people from across the whole of the city just to get involved. We'd like to know what the lived experiences of all the children and young people across the city, what it's like for them living in the city, and sort of how they're understanding their rights. As I said, we have got sort of a support document to help with that. We've got different age ranges. So as this is the primary me, I've put in the primary school aged survey in there, but there is also a survey for secondary school aged children and those that are 16 plus as well. But we'd just like to encourage you as all as partners to try and encourage children and young people just to take part in the survey so we can help to improve services and make the city a lot more child friendly.
Wonderful. Thanks, Eki. So if you
Thank you.
also have like parent communications that you can send that out to, we're needing to give it a big push over the next month because it closes on the 21st of Feb. Wonderful. Thanks, Eki. That's
Lovely.
great.
Thank you. Cheers.
Right, I'm really pleased to welcome Amanda. I think this is your first primary Culturemeet, Amanda. So welcome.
It is.
You're really,
And,
really welcome
Kathy
to.
told me last week that it's very fast paced, and I've really felt that in the last half an hour being in it. So I'm afraid currently I don't have a project to offer you. I hope to have a project to offer out to people, and I'd really like to use this opportunity to just see if I can capture anyone's interest in being involved in helping me develop a bid. So this is a research bid. So I work at Nottingham Trent University. I'm head of Department of Fashion, Textiles and Knitwear, and I look after the Lace Archive here. I'm really passionate about sharing the Lace Archive with the local community, and I've got some ideas how I would like to do that in a really inclusive way. Nottingham Lace has tended to be a story that is told about Nottingham in the 19th century with fantastic innovators who pioneered some amazing technology, some amazing designers. We've got an art school, we've got Nottingham Castle that grew as a result of that. And that's all a really fantastic story. But the one I really want to kind of draw out and make more inclusive to our community as it is today is what a global network that was, and whether that is thinking about where all the raw materials were coming from across the 19th century to support the lace manufacturing in Nottingham, but also thinking about where those goods were then going. I've got ideas about how we can talk about fashion today and draw those networks and talk about those kind of global networks from sort of a sustainable fashion conversation, but to then kind of work backwards into really exploring so that all of the children in Nottingham can feel proud and feel that lace heritage has something to do with them. So I'm working with two other colleagues at the University of Nottingham, a geographer and a historian, and we, essentially would be interested if anyone would like to have a further conversation, because we want to develop resources that would be useful to you. So I kind of want to know what those things would be and what sort of CPD that we could offer to enable staff to feel confident about teaching this at primary school level. So I will put my email in, and just happy to have any conversations if people want to email me and hear more about it. There's obviously lots more to say than I can say in these few minutes. So thank you for letting me join, Kathy, and yeah, thank you for listening, everyone.
That's okay. That's okay. Thanks, Amanda. In terms of like we've raced through and done really well, and we have a few minutes left now for any discussions that we'd like to bring up. And I think, as far as I'm aware, everyone that's an arts partner has had an opportunity to share now. And so we have about 8 minutes for a quick discussion with the teachers that are here, just to make sure that these sorts of sessions are useful for you, that we're doing things in a way in which you're able to digest the information, and really just to check in with all of you here that you're finding the Culturemeets effective, really. So if it's okay, rather than do a poll, I'd just like to open this up to everybody. Would anyone like to share how they are finding the Culturemeets? Was it too much information all at once? Or do you find this kind of fast-paced way in which we hear lots in a short space of time useful? Can I come to any teachers that are still in the room with us to just give a quick reflection, if that's all right? You can just unmute yourself.
I'll talk, Kathy. Can you hear me? It's
Yes.
Lauren. Hi, just
Hi,
on my
Lauren.
phone. Hiya.
Yeah.
No, I found it really useful just have those little snippets and having the contact details. I just wanted to share as well. I'm from Forest Fields, by the way, and we went to the Nottingham Playhouse week last Monday. Can't believe how quick it's gone. And we did the workshop and the backstage tour, and the children absolutely loved it. Really positive feedback from the children and from the staff there as well. And it was really, valuable experience. We linked it to the Shakespeare, The Tempest, that they were studying in their writing unit. So that was really useful. And they loved the backstage tour and the writing unit as well. So I just wanted to put that feedback forward.
That's great. Thanks, Lauren. Lauren is Forest Field, a part of the 10 schools that we've been working a little more closely with over this last year to really try and understand what a cultural guarantee for children and young people in the city might look like and how we could make that happen. So it's been really good to be able to, for Heidi and I to be able to come along and join you for some of these sessions to really understand it from a schools and children and people point of view, as well as being there to see it from an arts sector point of view too. And we've had a few sharing events where we've brought the two groups together, and we'd really want to do more of that. So if you would like, we're kind of coming to the point where we're bringing all of the data and qualitative evaluation together over the next few months, and we're really wanting to draw on schools' experience to be able to come up with the recommendations of how we develop and strengthen what we do as Challenge and as a partnership. So you're always really welcome to get in touch with Heidi or myself to really help feed into that and how we shape the cultural rucksack going forward.
And if you can do that today with just like a couple of sentences of reflection on today's meeting in the chat, that would be fantastic. While it's all kind of like hot off the press and in your mind, what's been helpful today, how and also as an arts partner, would you want to change the format? How does it work for you? Anything at all would be really great. I don't know if it's your first time, what's been your first impression of it?
Yeah, that's fine. Okay,
but you can't leave the meeting without writing something. I think that'd be great.
Okay, over to you. We'll give you a few minutes now just to add a quick reflection, please, in the chat, if that's okay. Thank you.
And then I just want to share about the transport thing.
Yes. So. Oh yeah, and
but
we'll let you do a minute reflection, and then Heidi's got something to share about transport. Brilliant. Thank you for those that are putting stuff in. Any other thoughts? Just keep them coming. You're very welcome, Nikki. It's fine that you're over the border. That's great. Oh, good. Well, that's positive. Lovely. So just as you're keeping it coming, just submit what you're thinking. And Heidi has something else to share.
Just to make it's come to my attention that in terms of booking transport for activities out and about, that why not the City Council transport scheme is up and running. I don't know whether it has been or isn't, but it is now. So if you're a school and you want to book some transport, why not we'll go out and do 3 quotes and try and find the cheapest provider for transport, and they've got some particular relationships that hopefully should get some kind of 10% reductions on the costs and things like that. So it should be able to help schools in terms of time and workload, and hopefully a little bit cheaper. So we'll make sure that that why not information is on our website and gets out. There isn't actually a link, I think, in terms of more information, but I've got the name and an email, and they're really happy to take your inquiries. They can do it on the day as well as in advance as well. So let's get that pushed out, because we know that transport's a really big barrier, isn't it?
Wonderful. All right. Thanks, everyone. Really appreciate your time today and your and for all of the sharing. Thank you for bearing with us. It feels like the fast pace has gone down well from the comments coming back in the chat. So that's great. I'm pleased that the format works for everyone. And we will put together a summary and send that out as well. And it will be alongside the recording that we put up on the website. So have a mooch about the website. If you've got 5 minutes, have a quick look. And we're always here, welcome to have feedback on that too. So yeah, brilliant to see you all. Thanks so much. Take care. Have a nice evening.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Do you want to put this in?
Thank you.